So now we move on to our next lecture, which is about products. Now, just to remind you of what we went through the last lecture. Pricing, there's basically two ways to do it. Either you do it by value, which is perception, or cost or profit based. And we know that pricing affects the entire So the next part of the marketing mix is about products or new products that we introduce. Now a review of the last lecture is pricing. There's basically two ways to do it. You can either do it by value, which is perception, or based on cost or how much profit I want to make. And we know that pricing is part of the entire mix, and the entire mix has to be consistent and depends on each other. Now how do we come about pricing? What do we do? Well, we can use it for offense, and we have different techniques where we can use pricing as an offensive tool, or we could use it as a defensive tool to protect ourselves when our products get attacked. And also, we can decide to do it according to what the data tells us, that the data defines for us what the elasticity of the customer is, what is it that they actually value, and from that we can design what the cost and perceived value is. So the next part of the marketing mix is about product, and as we know, all the P's have to play together. And so what we're going to review today is talk about the background of products. What is this new product process, and how do we test for it? How do we validate it? And so just like price, product is impacted by all the 5 C's. That when we make a product, do we want to collaborate with others on it? What is the competition? What are they releasing? So as you can see, all of these have an impact of what we choose for our product. Now, in terms of new product introductions, and this data is a little old, but it actually still holds up. And that's when I look at what is my newness to my company versus newness to the market. What's the impact of that? And so when it's low, it's something like a cost reduction. That's the simplest thing you can do. Product improvement, which is like continually releasing iPhones, and a new product line. Line extensions is something in the middle to both. A totally new product, meaning it's new to the market as well as new to your firm, that you've never done it before, and like when the first Walkman's released. That's an example of that. Or a reposition of product where Bic pens are all of a sudden coming out with Bic razors. And so where's the cost minimum? Well, the cost is minimum with the least amount of risk, right? And where's my risk factor? It exists right here. That when you release something new to the market, that's where you have the biggest risk, because customers have never seen it before. They don't know what quite to make of it. And so this is why there's so many line extensions, because line extensions have the least amount of risk. They already know that you like the product. They know you're going to buy it. So they just either improve it or just change a couple of features. But by the same token, when all you're doing is regurgitating the same stuff, you eventually hit a bump in the road, like Star Wars Episode 7. Yeah, Dr. Cho's still pissed off about that movie. I want my money back. Anyway, what is your motivation to reduce new products? Well, it's defense. You want to preempt a competitor's move or protect your shelf space. Or you could do it for offense, and that's that you're anticipating growth. You want to plant your flag first and grab your market share. And not only that, but you want to make it look like to your customers that you're this active company that does fresh and new things. And because people get bored of the same thing after a while. They want variety. In terms of new products that are released, only 60% are successful. on rarely are they on time and rarely are they on budget. And after having spent a career in product development, Dr. Cho was a rarity. I delivered my products on time and I delivered them on budget. Actually, typically I was under budget. But here you could see the percentages of new products that are successes, failures, or killed. And the thing that you really see, though, is a lot of products get killed before launch. And you can see it's a pretty substantial percentage. And so it's not easy releasing new products. And why do they fail? You could be too cute with it. Nobody wants it. And so the rest of this pretty much explains itself. The difference between, now in terms of the company itself, there's a difference between who you are and how much you're committed to doing something. Like, are you a market leader, a market follower, or a niche player? One joke we used to make at Abbott Labs. Now, everybody's heard of Johnson & Johnson, who's a leader. Some people have heard of Abbott, but basically Abbott is like Avis. And they're happy being followers. They tend not to be leaders. Internally, are you inventors, innovators, or acquirers? The thing about Johnson & Johnson, they don't develop their own stuff. What they do is they acquire other companies. That's the nature of biomedical. They're an acquisition business. When I interviewed with them for an R&D position, I was shocked to find out we don't actually do any R&D. R&D is about trying to find deals. And so what kind of commitment are you going to make? And I noted that, actually it wasn't Anheuser-Busch, it was Philip Morris, that it was willing to forego profits to make sure for 5 years to make sure that light beer made it. And so in terms of the process, we'll go over that in the next video.